Have you ever noticed how much of your suffering comes not from what actually happens, but from your refusal to accept it? Something in life shifts, breaks, or ends, and instead of meeting it with calm, you fight it, resist it, deny it. You spend hours, days, sometimes years replaying the event in your head, imagining how it should have gone, what you should have done differently, how unfair it was that it happened at all. And all the while, life keeps moving forward while you stay chained to the weight of what cannot be undone. The Stoics saw this clearly. They understood that courage is not just charging into battle or facing danger with a steady face. Courage is also quieter. It is the bravery of acceptance, the strength to acknowledge reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Epictetus put it plainly: make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. The wisdom here is sharp. Some things are yours to shape and others are not. The courage is in knowing the difference and refusing to waste your soul in a fight against the inevitable. Think about your own life. How often have you replayed a heartbreak, refusing to accept that the relationship ended? How often have you cursed a twist of fortune, telling yourself it wasn't supposed to be this way? How often have you agonized over the past, long after it was beyond your influence? Each time you do, you hand over your peace to something that no longer exists. The Stoic way is not apathy. It is freedom. It is courageously saying, "This is reality. I cannot change it, but I can choose how I respond to it." Marcus Aurelius, writing to himself in the midst of ruling an empire, reminded his own restless heart, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Imagine the weight he carried: wars on the frontiers, plagues ravaging his people, betrayal within his own circle. He could not stop any of it by sheer will, but he could accept it, meet it with steadiness, and respond with wisdom. That is courage, not to wish away reality, but to face it without breaking. We live in a world obsessed with control. We are told that with enough planning, enough effort, enough ambition, we can shape every corner of our lives. And when something escapes our grip, we feel cheated, like life has betrayed us. But life never signed a contract to obey us. Storms come. People leave. Fortune shifts. Death arrives. To live as though you can control all this is not strength. It is delusion. True strength is the courage to say, "I cannot control it, but I will not let it destroy me." Consider the loss of a loved one. Grief is natural. Tears are natural. The Stoics never said we should feel nothing. They only warned us not to collapse into despair, not to demand the impossible, that death should have spared the people we love. Marcus Aurelius, after burying many of his own children, did not deny his grief, but he reminded himself, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." The courage was not in pretending death didn't hurt. It was in facing it fully and still choosing to live with virtue. Epictetus, born a slave, crippled by abuse, stripped of nearly every freedom, still lived freer than many kings. Why? Because he accepted what was beyond his control. His body could be broken, but his will was his own. His status could be denied, but his mind could not be enslaved. "Some things are up to us, some are not," he repeated to his students. The courage was not in demanding fairness. It was in meeting hardship without surrendering dignity. What about you? Where in your life are you fighting what cannot be changed? Maybe it's a past mistake you replay endlessly, as if regret could rewrite history. Maybe it's a broken relationship, and you refuse to let go, as though clinging will bring it back. Maybe it's aging, illness, or some natural decline, and you live in anger instead of acceptance. Every one of these is an opportunity to practice courage, not the courage of defiance, but the courage of acceptance. Seneca once said, "A good character, when established, is not easily overthrown." This is the gift of acceptance. It builds resilience. Because when you learn to let go of what you cannot change, you stop being broken every time fortune shifts. The insult loses its sting, because you do not demand that others always praise you. The failure loses its weight, because you no longer demand constant victory. The unexpected loses its terror, because you no longer demand a life free of surprise. You find peace not because the world is gentle, but because you are steady. But make no mistake, acceptance is not resignation. It does not mean you stop working for change, or that you become passive in the face of injustice or hardship. The Stoics acted, they worked, they fought for what they could improve. Marcus Aurelius still led armies. Seneca still served as an advisor. Epictetus still taught his students to build character. The difference is that they acted fully where they had power, and they released everything outside of it. That is the balance. Effort without attachment, work without chains, striving without despair. Think of life like archery. You control your stance, your bow, your aim, your release. But once the arrow leaves your fingers, it is no longer yours. A gust of wind, a shift in the target, 1,000 variables may alter the outcome. To demand certainty is foolish. To master the process, that is wisdom. And to accept the result, whatever it is, that is courage. So how do we practice this in daily life? Start by noticing where you resist reality. The next time plans are cancelled, instead of collapsing into frustration, remind yourself, this is outside my control, but my response is not. The next time someone criticizes you, instead of burning with anger, ask, is this true? If yes, I will learn. If no, I will let it pass. The next time life delivers loss, allow yourself to feel, but refuse to demand that the loss undo you. Each moment of acceptance builds strength. And practice gratitude alongside acceptance. Because when you let go of what you cannot control, you begin to see clearly what remains. You begin to notice that even in hardship, life still offers gifts. The warmth of sunlight, the loyalty of a friend, the breath in your lungs. Gratitude does not erase hardship, but it balances it. It reminds you that life is not only what is taken, but also what is still given. Over time, this practice transforms you. You stop fearing the future because you no longer demand that it match your script. You stop obsessing over the past because you no longer demand that it be different. You begin to live in the present, not as a victim of what happens, but as a master of how you meet it. And in this, you discover a freedom most people never know. The freedom to live at peace, even in chaos. The world today needs this wisdom more than ever. We are bombarded with events outside our control. Economies rise and fall. Leaders disappoint, disasters strike. Technology shifts faster than we can keep up. If you tie your peace to controlling all this, you will live anxious, restless, and broken. But if you learn the courage to accept what you cannot change, you can walk through this storm unshaken. You can be steady in a world addicted to chaos. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." The courage lies in revoking that estimate, in withdrawing your suffering from the claws of what is not yours to command. So I ask you now, where do you need this courage? What wound are you nursing long after it cannot be undone? What future are you fearing long before it arrives? What part of reality are you refusing to accept? That is where your freedom waits. That is where Stoic wisdom invites you to step forward, not with force, but with calm acceptance. This is not easy. It is perhaps the hardest lesson of all, but if you can live it, even imperfectly, you will discover a strength no one can take from you, because fortune will rise and fall, people will praise and betray, life will give and take. But if you accept what cannot be changed, you remain steady. That steadiness is peace. That peace is power. That power is courage. So the next time hardship comes, and it will, pause, breathe. Say to yourself, this is reality. I cannot change it, but I can choose how I meet it, and in that choice lies everything. And if this message resonates with you, I encourage you to subscribe, to join me in exploring Stoic wisdom as a living practice, not just ancient words. Share in the comments where in your life you most need the courage of acceptance. Your words may be the encouragement someone else needs. And share this message with someone struggling against what cannot be changed. Remind them they are not powerless, only misdirected.